Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Before I call the meeting to order, I'm going to invite Neil Rowe to come up from Waterhouse Church, and he's going to lead us in our invocation. We appreciate you being here, sir.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for the invitation. The words of the Lord to Isaiah. This is what the Lord says: Be just and fair to all. Do what is right and good, for I am coming soon to rescue you and display my righteousness among you. Father, we come to you today to ask for wisdom, that we can do what is right and what is just. Lord, I thank you that you're with this council, that you're with those who work in this city. Father, I pray that you protect those who protect us, that you watch over them, God, not just physically, but also their hearts. God, that you would mend them when they're broken, that you would hold them when they grieve, and God, that you would be with our city, because our city needs you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you for being here tonight, Pastor. Appreciate you being willing to do that so often for us. Item 2 on the agenda is to call the meeting to order and announce we have a quorum present. It's 6:01 p.m. We do have a quorum present tonight. Our Mayor Pro Tem is unable to attend this evening due to prior plans. Item 3 on the agenda is pledges of allegiance to the United States and Texas flags, be led by Council Member Matt Tiskus.
All right, please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Item 4 on the agenda is items of community interest. Aaron Spicer, welcome.
Mayor and Council, I don't want to spoil anything, but if tonight's items of community interest were a playlist, it would go heavy metal, classic country, a couple of bangers, and end with a sweet lullaby. So put on your listening ears, because here we go. The Weatherford Fire Department's new blocker truck has arrived and wasted no time getting to work. It's already been used multiple times to help protect crews on scene at several incidents, which is exactly what we want from a vehicle whose main job is to be big, visible, and in the way on purpose. We also want to take a moment to recognize our City of Weatherford trash and recycling staff. A recent social media post featuring some of our crew members for Global Garbage Man Day clearly struck a chord with our community. They received more than 900 likes, 150 comments, and many shares, and they were all positive. The response made one thing clear: our residents notice and appreciate the hard work these employees do every day. Trash and recycling collection is not easy, especially in the Texas heat, but this team shows up early, works hard, and keeps our community going. Spark in the Park returns Saturday, July 4th at Heritage Park, and this year's celebration is a big one. Weatherford will celebrate America's 250th anniversary with live music, food trucks, a kid zone, and one of North Texas's largest fireworks shows. Gates open at 4 p.m. with Stoney LaRue taking the stage at 8. Bring your people, bring your lawn chairs, and get ready for a big Weatherford 4th of July. The 41st Parker County Peach Festival is Saturday, July 11th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in historic downtown Weatherford. The event features more than 200 arts, crafts, food, and activity booths, plus 2 entertainment stages, children's areas and rides, the Peach Pedal bike ride, and the always popular Peach Food Competition. It's the sweetest day of the summer, so come hungry. Speaking of things that are sweet, Mayor Paschal has officially added a new title to his resume, Grandpa.
Oh, no. My name is Buddy.
Buddy. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, Buddy.
Buddy.
His son and family welcomed Edwin Wells Paschal over the weekend. Congratulations to their family on their newest addition and smallest constituent. And if you need a few more ideas for things to do around town, the Weatherford Public Library is hosting a homeschool resource fair on Thursday, June 25th. It's a great chance for families to connect with local resources, programs, and support for the upcoming school year. First Monday Trade Days is coming a little early this month, and we'll be at Heritage Park June 26th through the 28th. Come browse, shop, snack, and maybe leave with something you don't really need. And on Tuesday, June 30th, we've got pickleball with Weatherford PD. It's a fun way to meet officers, get moving, and discover that your pickleball skills are either better or much worse than you thought. And for information on all these and more, visit experienceweatherford.com. And finally, Mayor and Council, we have with us tonight Beth Holst from the Daughters of the American Revolution National Society. Beth is joining us as part of Weatherford's recognition for America's 250th anniversary. This follows the America 250 Revolutionary War Patriot Marker dedication that was held June 13th at Soldier Springs Parks, where Mayor Paschal joined local and state representatives to help mark this important piece of our nation's history.
Come on up, ladies. We're all doing this together. Y'all are all out in that heat too. Come on up.
We were in that heat.
Yeah.
I just had to Photoshop my hair so it didn't look like
At least you have there.
homemade.
It's not funny.
Okay, on three. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it. How about a round of applause for these ladies? Thank you so much.
We loved it.
Nice to meet you. Good to see you. Thank you, Steph. Thank you for that, Aaron. It's informative and entertaining as always. Council, did you have any items of community interest? Mr. Hotop? All right, let's shift down to item 5, which is presentations and proclamations. 5A, presentation of the Weatherford Police Department's Chief's Commendation Bar to Officer Cody Atkins and Citizenship Awards to Andrew Mallory and Ayla Pritchett, for their exceptional courage and selfless actions that contributed to the successful rescue of 3 individuals from Lake Weatherford on March 2nd, 2026. Welcome, Chief Jason Hayes. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Jason Hayes, Chief of Police. This evening, it's my honor to recognize 4 individuals whose actions on March 2nd, 2026 exemplify courage, selflessness, and an unwavering commitment to helping others during a time of crisis. On the afternoon of March 2nd, the Weatherford Police Department, along with the Weatherford Fire Department, responded to Lake Weatherford after receiving reports that 3 individuals were stranded in the lake approximately 300 yards from shore in an inflatable raft, which was failing. The victims had been in the water for nearly an hour, were exhausted, and facing increasingly dangerous situation. None of them were wearing life jackets, and each passing minute, the risk of drowning continued to grow. Before first responders arrived, Andrew Pritchett heard the cries for help coming from the lake. Without hesitation, he alerted his family, gathered his personal kayaks, launched into the water towards the victims. Recognizing the seriousness of the situation, his wife Mallory also joined the rescue effort in her kayak, willingly placing herself in harm's way to assist complete strangers in distress. Together they worked tirelessly to reach the victims, stabilize them, and get them afloat while emergency responders were en route. At the same time, their daughter, Ayla, remained calm and focused throughout the emergency. She located life preservers, assisted where needed, and directed responding emergency personnel to the appropriate shoreline access point. While her role looked different from others on the water, it was no less important to the successful outcome of this rescue. When Officer Cody Atkins arrived on scene, he immediately recognized the situation remained critical. The victims were exhausted, the rescue effort was physically demanding, and everyone involved remained vulnerable in open water. After reaching the shore, Mallory provided her kayak to Officer Atkins and advised him that Andrew needed assistance in rescuing the stranded victims. Without hesitation, Officer Atkins removed his duty gear, entered the rescue effort, and paddled more than 100 yards out onto the lake. Despite having no prior kayaking experience, besides our row testing that we do every 6 months, he paddled more than 100, despite those dangers associated with entering the water, he helped Andrew bring all 3 victims safely back to shore. His actions demonstrated exceptional courage, sound judgment, and an unwavering commitment to the preservation of human life. Because of the actions of these individuals, 3 people returned home safely to their families that day. Their willingness to act decisively, place themselves at personal risk, and work together under extremely challenging circumstances exemplifies the values we strive to uphold in this community and within the Weatherford Police Department. That water was in the high 50s degrees in the water, just so you know, in early March. This evening, it's our privilege to recognize those actions through two of the Weatherford Police Department's highest forms of recognition. Officer Cody Atkins will receive the Weatherford Police Department Chief's Commendation, which is awarded to department members who demonstrate outstanding performance under hazardous and complicated circumstances. It recognizes those who rise above the normal expectations of duty when confronted with dangerous and rapidly evolving situations requiring exceptional courage, judgment, and decisive action. Officer Atkins' actions on March 2nd exemplify these qualities and reflect great credit upon himself, the Weatherford Police Department, and the City of Weatherford. Andrew Mallory and Isla Pritchett will each receive the Weatherford Police Department's Citizenship Award, which is presented to citizens who assist an officer or other citizen during an emergency when such assistance places them in personal peril. On March 2nd, the Pritchett family embodied that definition. Without hesitation, they placed the safety of others ahead of their own, demonstrating extraordinary courage, compassion, and selflessness. Their actions serve as a powerful reminder that public safety is not solely the responsibility of first responders. It's strengthened by citizens who are willing to step forward and help neighbors when the community needs them. On behalf of the men and women of the Weatherford Police Department and the citizens that we have the privilege to serve, it is my distinct honor to recognize these extraordinary individuals and present them with these awards. At this time, I would like to ask Officer Cody Atkins, the Pritchett family, to come forward for the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating these recipients and thanking them for exemplifying courage, selflessness, and the spirit of service that they represent. If y'all want to come down.
Thank you, Chief Hayes, for that. How about one more round of applause? For Chief Hayes? Fantastic. Let's see here. Council, let's move on to item 6 on the agenda, which is approval of the minutes. 6A is consider approval of the minutes of the City Council meeting held June 9th, 2026. Entertain a motion if that is your pleasure, Council. Motion for approval by Luke Williams, second provided by Matt Tiskus. Is there any discussion or corrections, conversations before we call for a vote on it? Hearing none, let's vote on it. Please indicate yea or nay on your touch screens. And that item passes. Council, item 7 on the agenda is consent agenda items. We have items 7A through E. We can entertain these as a body, or if there's anything you'd like to split off and discuss individually, speak up at this time. Be happy to entertain a motion if that's what you'd like to do. Luke Williams makes a motions to entertain this as a body. Rod White provides a second for the body. Is there any conversation or questions on the items? 7A through E. Hearing none, let's vote on them. Indicate yea or nay on your touch screens, please. And the body of consent items does pass. Item 8 is regular agenda items. 8A is hold a public hearing to consider adoption of Ordinance O 2026-20 concerning a request for a conditional use permit regarding hotel motel use on the 0.517 acre tract of land located at 117 College Avenue, City of Weatherford, Parker County, Texas, CUP-26-0004. Welcome, Scott McDonald.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. What we have before us is a conditional use permit for the Cotton Bratton Hotel. This may be similar or familiar to some of you, as this had come forward several years ago. Ultimately, through the process of redeveloping the Cotton Bratton properties, this did not follow its timelines, and that previous conditional use permit has expired. The current zoning in this is the Central Business District. It is consistent with our general plan, which is historic downtown, and then the conditional use is for the hotel use. This was the previous conditions prior to 2023, when it is that the entirety of the Cotton Bratton was renovated. This is the current conditions on site, which was a closure of the existing drive approach, the decorative screening, which was a portion of that, and some of the landscaping along the right-of-way. The proposal this evening is for a 14-room boutique hotel constructed of shipping containers. This is 2 less units than the previous CUP, as well as offering a little bit more of the courtyard, having a little greater area, an 8x20 pool, and the structures will be painted to complement and match, and then landscaping as shown. The original proposal on this has a screening wall that you see depicted, which is a living wall. And in talking with the applicant, there is consideration of an EIFS type or something similar that would be behind this, or at least allow for the opportunity to have some living wall, but the shipping containers would be screened with an EIFS type system, which is a exterior insulation or a stucco type finish. So it would screen the entirety of the south wall, a portion of the east wall. The previous layout, as I indicated earlier, was 16 units. This is now 14 units, and it pushes more of these units back behind the existing Cotton Bratton, and so again opens up that courtyard. This may show just a little better example of what that previous build line would have been. So the red vertical line shows where those shipping containers were oriented the opposite direction. So it increased the green space, the open space, and screens some of those units with the building itself. The options before you this evening are to approve the conditional use permit with the conditions stated, or disapprove the conditional use permit. Again, item 1 is a landscape screening maintained along the eastern western of the southern elevations of the hotel as depicted on the approved plans, where we have that consideration of having EIFS. The structures will be painted, of course, to match in compliance with our zoning ordinance. Murals and artwork and such will not be on the exterior facade of this hotel. And if the hotel ceases to operate for a period of 180 days or more, they'll have 60 days to remove the structure, and then it will be void if they do not complete the project within 18 months. I will stand for any questions. The applicant is here and does have a presentation as well.
We appreciate that. Are there any questions for Mr. McDonald before we have the applicant come up, and then we'll have the public hearing? Y'all okay if we do those things first? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Hughes, I believe the applicant is here. Matt, come on forward. Appreciate you being here.
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it. We just have a small video, and I'm here to answer any questions that y'all might have in regards to the project.
You mine, and I'm leaving all my wicked ways behind. Oh, you girl, I'll never let you go again.
So that video represents the scope of work that we've already completed. The reason, just to give you a little back history, the reason that we are asking for a re-up on this conditional use permit is because the overall scope of our original project more than doubled. Originally, we were just going to do about half that of what we did. And so we went ahead and took over and remodeled the entire building, found tenants. There's 4 businesses operating within that footprint. And so this, we just wanted to make sure that got done right and then added this for the phase 2 part of the project. So that gives you a little history on why we're coming back and re-upping for this conditional use permit.
Sure. You said you'd be willing to take a few questions if council
yeah,
has
for
any.
sure.
Any questions for the applicant?
Yeah, Mr. Hughes, you mentioned this being phase 2 of the project. Is this conclusion?
I would, for this property, I don't know that there's much more we can do, but we have other opportunities, I believe, on the square that we would like to take advantage of too after this is complete.
Just curious in that
Yeah.
regards. The other aspect that I had was, typically when we have individuals stay at our B&Bs or different hotels around town, they have the hotel motel tax that they'd pay in association. I'm assuming that this would be the same.
Oh, yeah,
in
this would
regards to
be,
this.
we would pay the hot tax for sure.
Perfect.
That would be
Just
in there.
curious. Thank you.
Happy to.
Yeah, Mr. Hughes, first of all, incredible job that you have done down there. I mean, just absolutely fabulous. I mean, our downtown is a better place because of the work that you've done
Thank
there already. So thank you, want to recognize that. And I'm excited about what's going on in our downtown, and I think this is a prime example of that. But Mr. Hughes, for the people who just hear shipping container and hotel, speak.
Right.
We see the quality of work that you've already done, but speak to the quality of this when people hear shipping containers and are concerned about that.
I mean, that aspect or that moniker of shipping container hotel is not lost on me. What we do is we integrate, we have another project in Graham, Texas on the Square, Hotel Middleton, so we've already executed that. It's been really well received. Many times people go by that property and don't even know that they're made out of shipping containers or don't notice it. We have an historic downtown square in Graham as well. We renovated an historic building right alongside of it. So the amenities that are in these rooms will be top notch, and we think what we've done to enhance the experience for the customer and the guest has already been done as far as food, beverage, and retail on the property as well.
Yeah, the quality that you've done at the Middleton is top notch as well. So I think it's just important for our citizens to hear from you and just to see the quality of work that you've done in the past. So excited about this opportunity. Unique, but I think it's an experience. And when people come and visit our downtown, I think they look for an experience, and this provides a unique experience. So I think it's a great concept. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do you have anything, sir? Hit your green button.
So the container portion of it,
Yes, sir.
will you be able to tell it's still a container, or?
I mean, if you're going to look at it, you're going to be able to tell that it's a container. We do have extensive landscaping and different elements, but we don't want to put something on these to where it looks like we're trying to make a shipping container into a farmhouse. We just feel like that's not, it's not an authentic feel, it's not an authentic property, and so you'll be able to tell it. But we have balconies that are going to come off of these units, as well extensive landscaping. We're going to have a courtyard that's already half done, but we're going to put in a pool area with additional landscaping, living walls that are going to be on different portions of it, and so it's going to be the finished product. I really believe will be you'll be proud of it as a city when we're done with it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Couple things related to this. I need to get some, if we can go back to the slide that shows the conditions. Mr. McDonald spoke of this, that y'all had a conversation. I love the living wall concept, Matt, I really do. I'm concerned about that during the maturation phase.
Yeah.
And so it talks about landscape screening. Would you be amicable to or improved exterior surface to be determined by staff and applicant?
Yes, we plan on working really closely with staff, making sure that the execution is what y'all visualize as well. We're going to have to create some sort of structure for that living wall to grow on, and so it's fine with us that if y'all want to go that route, and it's something that
We know
adds
it's going to be
value to-
living, we know it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah,
but
it can
but
be
takes-
both. So-
It takes
so-
time to get there. No
No,
ivy,
and-
no ivy starts out 18 feet tall. And so
Right,
if we
right.
can come to that agreement, I'm
100%,
fully
yeah.
supportive. Couple other things is I did travel to the Hotel Middleton. The first 6 months I'd heard about this concept several years ago. I was like, absolutely not. We're not doing that. I'm not okay with that. And then I got, just come look, just come look. And from the minute I walked up at Graham, I thought, okay, I get it. I think the product is totally satisfactory. I think you do a very great job at making it look far, far beyond what it is as far as the shipping container. I think it's a great test for the marketplace. So many people have wanted a boutique hotel downtown, and we've had several people come do analysis on that, performance, and it just wasn't there 3, 4, 5 years ago when they did those. This will be a great test for the market, and there's a safety mechanism built into where if it doesn't work, and I firmly believe it will, that there's a mechanism to remove those. And so the third thing I want to say is my experience with you is everything that you said you would do with the Cotton Bratton building, you did. Every single thing. When you said you'd do it and to the quality you said you'd do it. And sir, I want to tell you that's rare these days.
Well, thank you very much.
And the last thing is I want to recognize Mr. Ryder Scott. His family is the owners of the property. They've been longtime property owners, and they're icons and legacies of this community. And so I appreciate you trusting, the city, the citizens, and the developers here to transform that property into what it is today. And it seems to me like y'all have got a great partnership going.
Oh, it's been going really well.
Any other questions?
Thank you all for, the city supported us as well, so we appreciate that.
Any other questions for the applicant? We just have a public hearing, but any questions thus far? Any more? All righty. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you all very much.
We appreciate it. All righty. At this time, council, it is 6:27 p.m. We'll open the public hearing. I'll open it on item 8A. The public hearing is now open. If there's anybody who'd like to speak specifically on this item, now is your opportunity. Public hearing. Hearing none, we will close the public hearing on item 8A. Council, are there any questions, conversations? I see a motion on the floor by Mr. Tiskus.
Yeah, with conditions.
With conditions. Mr. Tiskus, is that as stated, or are we adding the secondary element or the exterior walls?
Yeah, the secondary walls.
Okay, with the either EIFS or stucco at staff
Right,
discretion?
right.
Okay. Madam Secretary, is that okay for you? Okay. All righty. Motion on the floor by Matt Tiskus with the revised condition regarding the exterior wall, living wall type surface. There is a second provided by Luke Williams. The same, sir?
Same.
All right. Any questions, conversations, comments before we move on? Let's call for a vote on item 8A at this time. Please entertain yea or nay. Please, not entertain, please indicate yea or nay. And we have, that item passes. Item 8B on the agenda is hold a public hearing and consider adoption of ordinance O2026-22 concerning a request by Debbie Howard for a zoning map amendment from C1 General Commercial to R1 One Family Residential on an approximate 0.459 acre tract being located at 202 South Tower Street, City of Weatherford, Parker County, Texas, ZCH-26-0009. Welcome back, Scott McDonald.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I've taken the liberty of putting a presentation together for items 8B and 8C, but they will both be heard independently.
Yes, sir.
So the two properties are 202 South Tower and 114 South Tower. Highlighted here in red are those two properties and where they're located. The applicant's request on 202 is the C1 zoning. Our proposed zoning being R1. The general plan calls for suburban living, which is consistent. The second property is 114 South Tower Street. The existing zoning is C1. The proposed zoning is R1. The general plan calls for community commercial, and the general plan has proposing to suburban living. So as you see on the map, it's adjacent to, it's consistent with. Both of these are single-family residences. The property owner is wishing to sell these properties, so for funding and for insurance purposes, it's just trying to make them consistent so they're not legal non-conforming. Staff recommends approval, and P&Z was 6-0 on both properties.
Any questions for Mr. McDonald before we have a public hearing on the item? Hearing none, we'll open a public hearing on item 8B at this time. Anybody who'd like to speak specifically on this item, now's your opportunity. The public hearing is open. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing on this time. Council, any thoughts, suggestions? Motion, Mr. Tiskus? Motions for approval?
Yes.
And a second provided by Rod White for approval. Any questions or conversation on it? Let's vote on 8B. Please indicate yea or nay on your touch screens. And thank you for that. That passes. Council will shift down to 8C. Just a reminder, we've already had the presentation on this item. Hold a public hearing and consider adoption of ordinance O2026-21 concerning a request by Debbie Howard for a general plan and zoning map amendment from C1 general commercial to R1 one-family residential on approximate 0.226 acre tract being located at 114 South Tower Street, City of Weatherford, Parker County, Texas, ZCH-26-0009. Again, Mr. McDonald has made the presentation, so unless you have questions, we'll open a public hearing on the item. This time we'll open up a public hearing on 8C. If there's anybody who'd like to speak on this item specifically, now's your opportunity. 8C. Public hearing is open. Seeing no takers, we will close the public hearing on this item at this time. Council, entertain a motion if that's your pleasure. Motion by Matt Tiskus for approval. Second provided by Rod White again. Any questions or conversation before we call for a vote on 8C? Hearing none, let's vote on it. Please indicate yea or nay on your touch screens. And that item passes. This time we'll shift down to item 8D, which is hold a public hearing and consider adoption of ordinance O2026-23 concerning a request by Shane Kaler for a general plan and zoning map amendment from AG Agriculture to C1 General Commercial with a conditional use permit for a contractor office / facility with outside storage, including vehicles use on an approximate 4.569 acre tract being located at 1798 Northwest Rick Williamson, City of Weatherford, Parker County, Texas, ZCH-26-0008 and CUP-26-0005. Mr. McDonald.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. The applicants requested to postpone this to a date certain of July the 8th for the Planning and Zoning Commission and July 28th for the City Council meeting.
Okay, the applicant has requested that this be tabled until those certain dates. We do have a public hearing posted, so in the formal fashion that we always do, I'd still like to go ahead and have that public hearing, Council, if that's okay with you. This time we'll open up a public hearing on item 8D. If there's anybody who'd like to speak specifically on that item, now's your opportunity. 8D, public hearing is open. Seeing no takers, we will close the public hearing on this item. Council, again, staff has recommended this item be postponed, tabled date certain to July 8th for planning and zoning and July 28th for the City Council meeting. I'd entertain a motion if that's your pleasure. Mr. Williams?
Mayor, I'll make a motion. Yes, sir.
As read?
As read.
All right. Second provided by Matt Tiskus. Madam Secretary, is that adequate? All right. Any discussion on 8D before we call for a vote? Let's vote on it. Please indicate yea or nay on your touch screens. And that item passes. 8E is consider resolution R2026-13, supporting the appointment of Parker County Judge as a primary representative for the Parker-Wise County cluster on the Regional Transportation Council of the North Central Texas Council of Governments. City Manager James Hotop.
Yes, sir. So a little bit of background. The North Central Texas Council of Governments is a 16-county region that represents what we consider to be North Texas. And that is the, use a lot of words here that we don't typically use, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, which is essentially a federally mandated, federally funded program which is required to coordinate federal transportation projects and state transportation projects. And so the policy-making body for that group is a group called the Regional Transportation Committee, which is a 45-member policy body that are made up of elected officials. So we have representation on that board, and that's currently Judge Dean. Those members serve 2-year terms. That term begins July 1st and runs through July 30th. So it'd start this July 1st, 2026, and run through June 30th, 2028. We share that seat with Wise County. So the outer ring counties that represent the Metroplex all have a shared seat. Our members are elected based on a weighted population vote. So the members that elect that are essentially Parker County, Weatherford, portions of Mineral Wells that have a population represented in Parker County because they're in both counties, Aledo and Willow Park. In addition to that, there's Bridgeport, there's Decatur, and there's Wise County that also vote as a part of that. Our current representative is Judge Dean, and he does represent Parker County currently. They have monthly stated meetings, which are typically the Thursday of the month. There's attendance reports that come out for those. So over the past 2 years, and there's approximately 23 meetings that have occurred over the past 2 years. Judge Dean has been in attendance for 19 of those meetings, had 1 unexcused absences, and then had 3 excused absences for official judicial duties and then training that occurred. So essentially, he's been counted on for 22 out of those 23 meetings that's there. So excellent attendance that are there. The big thing behind this group, and the big thing that most people don't realize, is that's where essentially all those federal gasoline tax dollars flow back down and come to local transportation projects. So the project that we, as we look at improvements along the interstate and things like that, those are all projects that are coordinated through this exist. I placed a couple of things at your place, and just so everyone understands, our agenda is required to be published 3 business days ahead of time, which would have been on the 17th. We received some updated information that I passed out to all the council, which came in on June 18th. The first thing was a letter from the chair, which just talks about the policy process, but also just, that's the chair of the Regional Transportation Committee, but also talks about attendance requirements, because there are attendance requirements when you accept one of these positions. You can't miss more than 3 consecutive meetings or 4 meetings throughout the year, or you're required to reappoint for that position. That's one of the things that I placed at your table. The second thing I placed, and it just looks at the outer line counties, it's referenced as number 2 in the top right-hand corner, but it just looks at a shared rotational percentage of our shared seat. So, based on their existing bylaws, the goal is that we will eventually have to share a representation of that seat. So currently, it is represented by someone with Parker County interest. In the future, it needs to be rotated at some point in the future based on population. So what the Regional Transportation Committee proposes is a shared allocation of 70% of the time over a 10-year period. It needs to be represented by someone from Parker County. And then 30% of the time, it needs to be represented by somebody from Wise County. When you look at the current numbers, what I showed you there, it's basically we're right on track with where we need to be. And if you so move to have a reappointment of Judge Dean, who is actually here tonight, we wouldn't be out of that rotational basis of where we need to be. The next thing that I put at your place, and it's actually a letter from Judge Dean's office, where he's asking for your support and touting the local transportation bond projects, specifically the $130 million transportation bond that Parker County passed, which does have numerous projects that benefit the city of Weatherford, and how those dollars are being leveraged. That's noted in his letter to leverage to get upwards of $1.6 billion through that COG regional agency to benefit Parker County and specifically Weatherford to a certain degree on all those right there. And then the last thing that I have for you there is just an email from Judge Clark. Judge Clark is the county judge for Wise County. He sent an email to Mayor Pascal was included on this email. I was included at the same time, just talking about the history of the rotation of the seat. One of the things I think that's important to represent, he didn't. Let me clarify. He didn't outright ask for representation on that seat. He just talked about for the importance of rotation. But one of the things that's important to clarify or to point out that was included in his is just that he said specifically, I would also like to propose that our clustered representation establish an expectation of enhanced communication and engagement amongst all entities. Specifically, I believe the primary representative should provide regular monthly updates to clustered members, whether through a written report, conference call, or similar format. And I think that's an important thing for the council to consider. This is not something that we simply want to vote on tonight and just kind of forget about the official actions that this group takes. While we, either through myself or Chad Marbett, our assistant city manager, do attend these monthly meetings just to follow what's going on, it is officially our voting representative, I think, that should be providing some form of update to all the members who are tasked with electing that person to that position. So it is ultimately Any elected official is qualified to serve in that capacity. It has traditionally been a county judge. There's been one other instance where we've had a Parker County Commissioner who has served as an alternative on that. We do have a resolution for your support tonight, or we're asking for your support tonight, which would recommend to continue Judge Dean. It's an established seat there with established relationships, which help push our transportation agenda forward, which is important for, as we continue to grow, to make sure that our strategic transportation projects are able to be executed. That resolution also establishes an alternate member. The importance behind that is that if the primary member can't attend for whatever reason, that there's ample notification that's given to the alternate member to be able to represent all of the entities that have voting power there. That alternate member that we've recommended in there would be Judge Clark. For a couple of reasons in there. Judge Clark, who represents Wise County, obviously to stay familiar with that rotation, and then knowing at some point in the future, we will have to rotate that to a representative at some point in the future from Wise County. So I know that's a lot, but I'll stop there and happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions for Mr. Hotop on the item? I can share that I've been privy to much of this due to my role as mayor, and I have received regular updates from Judge Dean. I'm very impressed with his attendance record. It is a full day to get over there and back and to attend a meeting, especially with the traffic on I-20, which he's working on. I do like the idea, Judge, of regular communications with the member entities of our area that are included in this to be updated, and I like the idea that Judge Clark is the alternate. It makes sense that you guys are working together. We need to do that publicly. And also want to commend J.D. Clark. He works real hard for Wise County, and I have no doubt that when it's his turn to sit in this position that he'll do the same thing for Parker County. Council, any other comments? I'll entertain a pleasure. Staff is recommending approval of Resolution R2026-13, if that is your pleasure.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Motion for approval of the resolution by Luke Williams, second provided by Rod White. Questions or conversations or discussions on 8E before we call for a vote? Hearing none, let's vote on it. Please indicate yea or nay on your touch screens. I hit a button too early and it slowed it down. My bad. That item passes. Judge Dean, congratulations, sir. Let's see here. Let's shift down to item 9, future agenda items. Mr. Hotop, did you have anything, sir?
No, just remember, obviously, big event in the park on 4th of July.
Spark in the park.
Be huge, so.
Any ideas or items of community interest down here? I mean, future agenda items? All righty. Let's shift down to item 10, which is citizen comments on non-agenda items. We do have one speaker card tonight by Terry Hubbard. Miss Hubbard? Okay, you were over there earlier. You moved on me. So thanks for your patience with us. We appreciate you being here. Terry, once you get settled, if we can have your name and address, and then you'll have 3 minutes. You go pull that mic down just a little bit. There you go.
Terry Hubbard, President of the Parker County Historical Commission. I live at 1317 South Lamar, Weatherford. First of all, my pages are out of order somewhere. Sorry. Good evening. Thank you guys for having me, allowing me to speak. And I want to again thank you all for your support and express the gratitude of the Historical Commission for the facade grant we were awarded. And to know that we were the last grant awarded, it means a lot to us. I also wanted to share with you some of the happenings of the Parker County Historical Commission. We were recently awarded the Distinguished Service Award by the Texas Historical Commission. Of the 254 counties in Texas, only 62 were selected this year.
Wow.
We have received the award or the honor 6 times over the past 20 years, but the last 5 years consecutively has been one of ours. We were recognized by Judge Dean and the county commissioners yesterday morning at the commissioners' court meeting. We had 12 members present for the presentation. We also had a couple of other things. We had 2 new members voted on. We presented a proclamation for the All Saints Church for their 150th anniversary on July 4th. And it was a pretty big deal for us. We now have 29 residents as members of the commission with 2 more applicants pending. And we're excited about the growth that's going on. Last year, we held a regional CHC conference with representatives from 9 area counties present, some of them spending the night either beforehand or after it was over. The weather was not the best, so they didn't want to drive, but they also wanted to enjoy our hospitality. Well, sure. After the conference ended, they were able to enjoy the tour the Doss Museum and the Log Cabin Village. They really enjoyed it. We had positive reactions from them all. And we have plans already for this year's to be held on October 30th. Quickly, we initiated a lecture series in 25 with 2 lectures held outside, and 1 we went to the streets and toured the downtown area after dark. We had docents that gave the folklore of the business, some of the businesses, and then our members gave the history of those businesses, the more factual part. We're already planning this year's tour. It's going to be on a Friday and Saturday night, the weekend before Halloween, since our regional conference is the weekend of.
Yeah, I need you to wrap up, Ms. Hubbard.
Yep. Quickly, again, we want to thank you for your support and tell you how much we appreciate it.
We appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
All righty. Anybody else for citizen comments on non-agenda items? If there's anybody who'd like to speak on any item not covered in our agenda tonight, now's your opportunity to come forward. Citizen comments on non-agenda items. Seeing none, Weatherford City Council stands adjourned at 6:47 p.m. Thank you all for your service.